Where's my mouse? Where'd it go? I don't know where it went.
My cell phone later. On YouTube.
There we go. Someone wants to join this call. View. I can't just add it.
Mark Pooland. Leave him
Admit.
out.
He's in. People all muted. Mark, I think you're in.
Oh, no.
Hey.
What are you talking about, dude?
Oh, all good then.
But we're on
Yeah,
Zoom
well,
now.
sure, sure.
Hey, we're gonna need your services. Here, there's a wheelie chair.
Not they, she.
Then there was no
she.
day.
She, it's she. It's not
It was she and Michaela, right?
Wow.
Was I involved in that? I don't know. I don't know if I said anything. Mark, you're in.
You don't have to, we'll get you involved.
I can't hear you, but I hope you can hear us. I don't know where my volume's at. I
You
don't
have
know.
muted, I think.
All muted? Nope. He's just muted, I guess. Can I click this?
Doesn't look like he is. Usually.
Oh, I can't
Mute
unmute
somebody.
somebody. So he can unmute himself if he wants to. All right.
Oh, there we go.
Clear. I think I got it now.
Oh, okay. Yep. You're just quiet. Where's the volume?
Just happen to have a conference speaker at my house too. You should have.
I didn't know. I forget you're such a tech guy.
I'll bring it.
All
I
right.
can't use it anymore.
I think everybody's in. So normally this is going to be your job call to order, but I was like, I don't know what we're doing because it's round one. So here we are. And I stand in front of all of you all the time. So officially calling to order the first board meeting. I have an update from the advisory board because none of them were able to be here today. So this is just a letter from Jason. So first of all, thank you for your willingness to help get the PACC established and positioned to assure operations, to assume operations once we have the facility back. The PACC will be a first-class community center serving the entire region. If we all work together and stay focused, this can all end up being a great thing for our area. The old Y can be much more successful and provide more to the area as a local nonprofit out from under the Y banner. Here is the current update. Old Town agreed to exclusively work with the PACC to investigate transferring assets, mortgage, and endowment to the PACC. Each organization appointed 2 members to represent them during the process. We chose Mike Sutton due to his knowledge of the process of merging with Old Town, and Claire Lazat due to her vast knowledge and experience in handling situations such as these. Hey,
You like this seat?
Got it.
I can stand myself.
How about this one? No,
Right here?
I'm over here.
Cold.
fair enough.
Kids.
You're gonna hide back here?
Want this one?
When does the regular meeting?
This is the, no, this, you're here, where this is the officially the board meeting. Well,
Thank
that's
I
what-
got a seat for you.
Well, but I don't want to get, last night, I developed a runny nose of
Not fun.
fire
You
hydrant.
better sit
Fire,
down.
fire
Yeah,
hydrant
you
quality.
You better sit down.
And
I'll
I
call you
tested
in.
myself for COVID today and I'm negative.
Good to go. All right, well, we're glad you're here. Thanks for making it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hang
You can.
That's
All right. So the first meeting of representatives, including attorneys, will be held Tuesday, the 19th at 10 a.m. in Old Town. Old Town asked us to provide proof of nonprofit status, a business plan, and budgets for the PACC. All of these have been provided. The only caveat is that the PACC has an EIN and is registered by the state, but the IRS can take 3 to 4 months to approve the 501c3 status. If this becomes an issue, we have asked the PCEDC to step in and hold assets until our 501c3 is approved, and hopefully this won't be a big deal. Old Town should not have any issues with everything else we provided. There should be no reason for them to not proceed forward. I'm concerned they might ask for additional money for the assets. Their original plan was to monetize the assets and endowment, and we stopped that. I don't think they're giving up on getting money out of this, but we won't know until after the Tuesday meeting. If the Tuesday meeting goes well, we should have a rough idea of a timeline to complete the deal and get the building back open. I still think best case is 1 to 2 months. If the meeting goes poorly, we will have to discuss starting up the public shame campaign again. We've agreed to keep a low profile for now, but if things turn, we can crank that attention level back to 100. If the meeting goes really poorly, we might have to proceed with litigation. 2 aggressive lawsuits are 80% prepared and can be filed quickly. They would freeze the assets and the endowment pending resolution, and I really hope it doesn't come to this. Amanda can coordinate any questions you have, and I will answer them promptly. Thanks again, Jason.
You said they pick two people from each side? I
Yes.
just got one.
Oh, sorry. It was Mike Sutton and Claire Lazat. Just she's the smartest person I've ever met in my life. she's so smart.
Do you know who their two people are?
I don't know who their two people are. And
That
then
was my question.
and then there's like a neutral mediator who has nothing to do with
Is
either
that a
side.
mediator they brought in?
It's an
Where did they-
attorney that the attorneys picked from.
Do you know who it is?
I know. Jason probably does. I don't know. I don't know. Do you know Dr. Sweat now?
Will
Not
the,
sure.
will the attorneys be there as well? Is it just gonna be the two
I
and
don't
the
know.
moderator, or will?
There was some mention of attorney.
Yeah, I
Wait,
think
what
his
did it say?
brother said
Attorneys
with
meeting on
attorneys.
Tuesday?
So it
Is that what
says the first meeting of representatives, including attorneys. So yes, attorneys will be there. So I'm gonna ask
Tuesday.
who are their reps? Who is the mediator?
And that's this coming Tuesday, I take it.
Yes. Yeah. So super soon, less than a week.
Yep.
Good.
Any other questions you want me to field over?
No. I don't think a lot of the, concern. I know Jason's very, he's got a lot of concerns about that stuff, but like we say all the time, you just got to cross those bridges when we come to them. So for now, we just proceed as though they're going to do exactly what they say they're going to. Hopefully they do.
I just keep showing up here every day.
That's it. That's it. It'll get figured out at some point.
That's what I'm hoping.
It will.
It has to, right?
It's gonna. Yes.
Let's see. Where'd my front page go? Hold tight. All right. And then Mike, or would you like me to do operations board introductions?
I think we can just go around the room and have everybody identify themselves and move on to the next thing. I'll start out. I'm Mike Harris. I live in Quebec. I was asked to join the PACC board. Figured it was a good thing to do and see if we can get them pointed in the right direction and get it up off the ground for them.
And I appointed Mike as the chair of the board. He has extensive business knowledge, owns business, and he runs a pretty aggressively tight ship. And I think he will keep me in line better than some could. So,
Oh my God.
best of luck.
I'm Michaela Richardson. I live in Sangerville, and I was asked to be the secretary on the board. I've taught spin classes at the Y for the last
Longer than I've been
4
there,
years.
at least.
Yeah, it's before your time.
Yeah.
I'm Victoria Flynn. I'm up in Abini. I have a couple of kids who are very interested in all this opening back up. And I've got a Girl Scout troop that's very interested in this opening back up. So here I am, ready to help.
And she's going to be on our finance committee. She has extensive grant knowledge.
I'm Jason Greenlaw. I live in Quebec. I have been an avid member of the local YMCA for several years. My kids have taken advantage of multiple sports programs, recreational programs, that sort of thing. Been very interested in this opportunity for a long time. Didn't quite get my call board when it was with Old Town Orono, but happy to do whatever I can.
And I appointed Jason as the vice chair. I figured he'd be a really great backup for Mike. He's got a lot of community connections, and he's going to be a really great advocate for us as far as like the teens go. He's there every afternoon, like the same time that they are. His daughter works for us. She's one of our lifeguards and childcare workers. It was really important to me on the board that we had a broad range of people that had interests in everywhere. So Jason's got our teen and our fitness center at heart. Michaela's got our wellness, our adult wellness. Mike, you've got your youth programming. Your son and your daughter do our programs. And then Angie, which she'll get to, she's super swim team aquatics. So, oh, just kidding, Brian. You had it so long.
I'm Brian Campbell. I live in Sangerville. I belong to the Y for many years. I also have been a board member at both the Old Town Orono Y when we merged and the Y here in Dover. I was there when we merged. We had the people on our board had many questions, and some of those questions were not answered truthfully. And we went over to Old Town Orono, and that's where it starts. And I fought to try to get him on the board at Old Town Orono, and they just passed by us when we were supposed to have 3 members on the board. We only ended up with 1 for a long time. I'm on the committee to raise money, the fundraising committee, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. We just had our first meeting, and that's it.
Jonah Orff. I've grown up and lived in this area my entire life. I went away for 6 years in the service, but have 3 kids. I'm myself wounded, so there's not very much I can do for physical ability.
Right.
Swimming is, high priority for me, but I know there's a lot of other veterans and a lot of other people who I was swimming with that I could see that's pretty much the only thing they could do. Even walking is something that's real tough. So, working at the hospital for 10 years before the Northern Light merger, I was on boards where we were, trying to pick the best financial decisions in communications equipment, which is all expensive. So, if I can offer any kind of help and guidance, here I am.
I am Remington Poulin. I live right here in Dover Foxcroft. I've been a member for 7 years now. I go in the mornings, I do my workout, and I can go in the evenings as well too. So I know both crowds, morning and evenings as well. I used to personal train a little bit as well at the Y and do a few classes as well. So hopefully we can keep going again.
Because he bought his house close to it.
Yeah, I bought my house right down from the Y.
So
So I can go.
I like that.
That's why Lance came too.
Yeah, it's true. Angie?
My name is Angie Snow, and I live here in Dover. I have 2 daughters who are competitive swimmers. We are currently traveling to Bangor multiple days a week to swim there. So definitely in our best interest to get this open back up as quickly as possible so you don't have to do that. I've been a banker for 20 years. I'm a government banking officer for Interstaten Bank, and Amanda asked me to be the treasurer.
Dr. Sweat?
I'm Dick Sweat. I came to town in 1979 when there was no Y building, but there was a Y without walls with Barry Coster. I began to get involved at that time, and then was involved with a group that put up the building and was on the board for a while. I haven't been on the board for quite a few years, but I'm now on the transitional team to get to Jason.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
I'm Ben Cabot. I'm a local attorney, and I grew up in Dover. My folks moved to town in '87, and one of the reasons they decided to move to Dover was because the Y was about to be built. And I learned to swim at that pool. My kids have learned to swim in that pool. And I am very, very optimistic about this next chapter. I think that getting out from under the thumb of the YMCA organization is going to allow us to provide so many more opportunities and probably a much higher quality of product for our community. So we have work to do, obviously. I think we've got an awesome team here. This is really encouraging to see everyone out. And I think, before long, we're going to see some real progress.
And we have Mark on Zoom. I don't know if he can hear us.
I
Or...
got you. Hello, Mark. So I couldn't make it in person tonight. Had work commitments tonight. Longtime member of the YMCA. All my kids did programming there. Still actually have a daughter that's merged over to the Old Town, is still currently employed down there. Very excited about the opportunity to try to get this thing up and going. Sit on several boards in town, including the school board, budget committee, rec committee. Again, looking forward to making this thing happen. Thank you.
And I'm Amanda Stewart, for anybody who doesn't know. I think everybody knows me. I've been with the Y working since March of 23. It's been almost 2 years. I took this job accidentally. I volunteered to help while my kids were doing swim lessons and swim team. And then I was working like 40, 50 hours a week after about 2 weeks of that. And last year in July, I officially became the branch director. When this all shut down, when this all shut down, I kind of stepped in with Jason a little bit, and I've been helping him do all the things and kind of anything that anybody needs me to do. I'm super passionate about getting this place back open and getting this place running. My reasoning is, I know all of you, and I know all of your stories that are just a little tiny piece of it, but there's 2,000 other of your little tiny stories that I've heard, and I know just from being in that building. And like, I understand why it's so important to 1,000 different people. And that's why this board, as you've listened to each other talk, is so diverse, because all those little pieces are so, so important. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry for being late. I had an appointment in Waterville.
That's okay.
I'm Kathy Reardon. What do you want me to say?
Just who you are, what you do.
Just keep going.
This is Kathy Reardon. Both of her children work at the Y.
Yeah, two of my 3 children work at the Y, Lainey and Liam. Yep. And both very devastated, and yeah. So we've been members since pretty much we moved here, and it's important to us to keep this service for the community. So
Thank you. All right, next topic, business plan discussions.
Man, I'll start out by saying I'm not sure who wrote the business plan, but phenomenal job. I thought it was very well put together, and if we can stick to that, I think we'll be very successful. But kudos to whoever wrote that.
It was kind of a group effort. Everybody put in little pieces and chunks, and I think everybody had a little part that they were supposed to write. Hopefully my parts were the best, so I'll let you tell you.
I mean, I read it a couple times, talked to Jason about it, and I think it's spot on. I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels or if they have any opinions on it, but I think it was very well written and a very good presentation to start.
Thank you. And I think, so it's really important also that we'll share this. Anybody that hasn't read it, I'm happy to send it and you can read it. Transparency has got to be that's going to be key moving forward, because there was so little of that. And I'm not good at not being transparent. So if I'm not supposed to share something, don't tell me. I don't know. This is a community thing. This is not a me thing, a you thing. It's for all of us. And if people don't know, been so many people that are if why didn't you say we had financial trouble? I'm like, I didn't know. So well, it would have helped. We would have done this. We would have. And they're right. They would have, because look, right now, the community is doing its thing. So if anybody wants this, let me know. Happy to share. There can be changes. And I know the board right now that we have, so our special acquisitions group, we've had a few things as we were building the bylaws and stuff. We sent them to Mike and he didn't like a couple things. I'm like, they don't like this. Okay, no problem. It's really nice. I don't think any of them want to run a facility. I think they all just want to help us get it back up and going, and they have the knowledge and they have the history to make sure that we don't make some of the mistakes I'm sure they made initially doing this. So super excited to have them as our advisory board, and all of them are stepping down into the advisory position as soon as the transition is done. And we're also adding Donna Hathaway and Bill Rayfield to the advisory board. And Bill was in twice now going over the budget and stuff. So we built the budget, and just a pile of knowledge from these people. So taking advantage of that. Any other thoughts, business plan?
I just want to echo that. When I read it, I was like, this is well done. And I didn't know who wrote it, but I thought it was spot on. The childcare, and I'm trying to find it.
Yep.
Is the plan was that to lease it to someone?
Yes. So that's on my things I wanted to ask the board tonight too, but we can jump right into that. So childcare broke even. We lost $28. And I don't know if any of you watched me work this spring and summer, but it consumed my life because it was just me running the facility. Our childcare person left and I had to rebuild from the ground up. And unfortunately, the people that had been in charge of childcare had done nothing to state compliance. We didn't have anything. I rewrote handbooks for employees, for families, pulled together lists, nothing was, we didn't have CO2 detectors in the room. And that's state mandatory, you have to have. So it consumed my life to break even, to make no dollars. So I see the value, I see the importance, but we can actually make money by leasing the facility. And so far I've had 2 people show interest, nothing super serious. So that was my question to you also. If you know community members that are either looking to open another branch or somebody that's in their home and they want to take it outside their home, just have them come talk to me, because there's nothing in Sonia and we just need an application and I want to make it happen.
Yep.
So.
Okay. I remember looking at that. I didn't quite understand it.
Yeah.
The only thing I would caution on that is when you write your lease agreement, make sure you're very specific with. Sure. with who's responsible when the state agencies come in and do their inspections for fixing things.
Okay. And that's
Because
so
sometimes that can get,
Brittany at Community Fitness, she leases her space. And that was where because she's like, have you ever considered? And I'm like, well, no, not really. Like, you know, it didn't lose money. And then she told me she's getting like $1,500 for this one little room. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
we doing?
and if I remember right, you have room for like 20.
We're licensed for 49.
Oh, wow. So
I have room for about 30, like max in the summer. Because if they have to be inside, like that's a lot. But when I opened up the outside space, it got a lot better really quickly.
How will that work with your summer camp thing? Because usually those kids.
So summer camp
will
is
be
not.
something.
Summer camp is just childcare. Like we called it summer camp, but it's
just them, so they'll take care of all that. You won't have any responsibility
None of
towards that, and they'll.
Yep. And the thing with that I'm pretty excited about is that that'll be its own entity. But then those kids and those families are going to be in our building. They don't have to be members, but they'll see our programming. They'll see our things that are happening. And like, hey, I can tap your kid out of childcare at 3:00 for Lego Club. You want to pay for Lego Club? I sign your kid out of childcare. I sign them back in when we're done Lego Club. So now we just got ourselves a member and a Lego Club participant, and I don't have to do childcare. It's brilliant. Thoughts on that or the business plan?
Do you have those printed off the business plan that I can go over?
I'll give you this one.
Digital's fine.
Send me one later or something.
Yep, definitely.
Do we know if there's a lot of overhead to rev this thing back up?
Look, so like initial expense.
Yeah.
So some, I mean, we can open the doors and like go.
I know 50,000 was talked about.
And that's,
Originally.
so a lot of that is going to be, because like right now, I don't know if we're going to need a phone. And so like we'll need internet and all those things. I made a list. Hang on, let me open it up. I have a spreadsheet for everything. So many spreadsheets.
If you don't have cameras, don't hire somebody. We can do that cheap.
Okay, cool. Because I just actually talked to Frank Spazuko a few minutes ago, and the one that he just got at the beach and then he hasn't made military was like $5,000 to $10,000, and I was like, "Ugh, so much
We
money.
can do it cheaper.
Made military.
I'll tell
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's because Frank used to own Maine military, so he was like telling me about like they get all the license plate.
Yeah. Oh.
So the immediate needs like for the facility were social media done. We'll have to cover the mortgage. The insurance was like $3,000-ish a month is the budget. Obviously electricity, water, sewer, but I want to talk to the town about that because we get charged based on sewage, and we have a lot more water going in than we have going out because I have to put like 2 inches a week into that pool and I don't drain it. It just evaporates. So I'm going to talk to the town. They keep saying they want to help us.
Something with that though, where you can buy like another meter that essentially shows you're in and out.
And we might need to, but I think I'm just going to ask if we can have it for free.
Yeah.
Because they keep saying they want to help us.
Yeah.
And so that would save us several, I think it's like $8,000 a year with our water bill. So I'm going to ask. Heat, we had a contract with Robinsons for like $3,800 a month. And that's just what we paid. And it included 2 service cleanings annually. So that's something that we can look back into once we get back in there. The fire inspection, it was just inspected. So we just need the inspector to come. But having a phone system, we do need a computer for the front desk. Chad Perkins has said that he will go through like Dell and get us a computer. So he said he'd handle that. The membership management system is on my list of stuff here. So I've talked to a few people here that were in the finance, so they've seen a little bit about it. I sent it to them, and I sent it to the advisory board as well. So we used to have Daxco for like the member management. So I've had 20 Zoom calls with companies and 40 phone interviews with companies to try and figure this out because there's about 1,000 of them. And the one it's phenomenal. It's called Wellness Living, and it's going to be a dedicated, so it'll be an account manager, so every person goes into it, has a custom branded app on the phone for members, staffing. It'll cover all the programming and marketing. It does like email blasts. You don't have to have constant contact or MailChimp or any of that. It's all built in. It'll do automatic proration of programs. It'll do a reward system for members. So like every time you check in, or if you swim so many laps, or if you walk so many miles on a treadmill, like however we set that up. It'll do discounts. It'll do all of our forms, waivers, contracts, lead generation for us. It'll integrate with the QuickBooks for finance. And it also has the 24-hour access system integration in it, which is also part of this. And then payment processing integration. So all of it. And it was $408 a month with an additional like $430 annually. So Daxco is costing us almost $3,000 a month. So it was insane. So it's awesome. And then there's this company called Passport, which will be $2,400 up front to set up, and that's the 24-hour access. The cool thing about, and then we don't have to do that like on day one, like that could be on day 30, like that's okay. But so like you'll have the app on your phone because you're a member and you beep yourself in 24 hours a day. If you're not 18, it will not let you in. If you haven't paid, it won't let you in. If I've said like, nope, you were naughty last time you were here, it won't let you in. But if you're not a member or you are a member and you haven't paid, you can literally go on your phone, make your payment. Now you can get in. Or like, oh, I'm not a member here. Like, here's the QR code. Like I go in, I put all my information, I sign all the contracts and everything. And now I can go in like standing at the door for less than $500 a month. And it checks every single person that comes in. So all of our memberships that have to go so many times a month, you can just pull that record. It's pretty slick. And then I do have
a question on that.
Yes.
What about somebody letting someone else in that's not
Yep.
supposed to?
So that's where we're talking about the cameras. We'll have to have cameras. And then there's also something that they're looking at for me because they don't have very many places that do it. Well, the guy that I talked to, they have a facial recognition software that you can add to. So he's finding out the cost for that. So I'm talking with him again tomorrow. So it'll even like show you like face, like, nope, I don't know this person. Like this person isn't a member. Like it won't unlock the door. Because it's a thing. Facial recognition now. And there's also like a lot of stats on like piggybacking. So it happens a lot with like the teenagers, especially like they'll unlock the door and 3 of their buddies come in behind them. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We can very easily see like who came in, check the cameras, like that was 3 of you. Like no more, your card doesn't work anymore. And I think just being really upfront with people, like if you do that and you get caught, you're done. Like it's it's over. Like it's not like a 3 shots. Like it's a nope.
With that program, has it mentioned anything about having a sensor where kind of like the vehicle's driving down the road and be like, oh, 4 people came in, but 1 swipe?
I don't think so, because it's really like it's just like a magnet on the door that you just like you beep your phone and it unlocks the magnet. So then you'd have to have the cameras for that, like that backup there. But even like if you can do cameras, awesome, because I just have Nest at home, and like even just having like a Nest on the door, you can.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna ping at midnight. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, what's happening?
So you're not supposed to hold the door for someone technically.
Right.
If you were, every person that comes up to the door has to.
Yep, they should just be, and like you can leave it open because you just have to
You
scan
can.
your.
That was
Yep,
gonna be
you just
my
have to
next
scan. It's just a little
Yeah.
box that
Okay.
goes right outside the door, and
Yep.
it disengages the magnetic lock, and
So it's just on your phone and that's it.
you can get a barcode tag too.
Okay.
So we'll order some of those. That was part of that $2,300 with that included 500 barcode tags. So
Wow.
somebody like some of our elderly people that don't
Yeah.
Right.
want that can still like get in. But and I was kind of explaining to him like we have an elderly population here, but because we're so in the middle of nowhere, most of them have cell phones with apps.
Yeah.
Because
You need them.
they have to have it. Like we're not in the city. So
But that they're more enforced after hours anyways, too.
yeah.
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 During the day, you probably just leave it open.
Yep,
and
so,
check in.
I think we'll be able to staff the wellness center, the welcome center less because like at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's Remington. And
You're hired.
Yeah.
And, like, I love Donna. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Donna to death. But does it make sense to pay her $16 an hour for one person to come in and use the fitness center at 5 a.m.? No, it doesn't. And for $2,300, the reality is like how many hours ago could we have already paid for that? So I think we'll be able to save money on staffing because then we can shut down too at 7 o'clock at night with the welcome center because all the kids programming is done. And that's really what you need them for is when the kids are there and you want to make sure our teenage staff have got support. And after that,
So we can still run programs after the front desk people have gone.
Sure.
If we wanted to, we can still, but we couldn't use the pool though. The pool will have to shut
Yep.
down when the front desk person leaves,
Yep.
correct?
well, not necessarily. It depends on,
If you got a lifeguard, can the lifeguard run that without a person at the front desk?
Yep.
Because then who do they call if they have an issue?
that's what we have to figure out.
911.
Not on every time.
But I think that's something.
But the reality too, if we've got swimmers in there at 5 a.m. and Donna's on the front desk, who do they call if there's an
Right.
emergency?
Yeah,
Just-
that's true.
Yeah.
We'll call Mark.
Not to keep going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
What are they gonna have access to? Is it the whole building?
I don't know. Like, so that's what I don't really know. I say no. We have the ability to lock all of that building. Like every single thing can have a key, can have a lock from the studio to the courts to the locker rooms. If we only want to allow access, after 7 p.m., like you only have the bathrooms. You can't use the locker rooms. You can't shower.
Right.
So we can make those decisions. You can make those decisions and tell me what to do. Especially you've got a lot of like security because I'm oblivious. Like somebody could be standing right there. It's nefarious. not a skill I have, but we have you, we have Mark, and we also have the chief of police here on the board as well. So I think we've got a pretty good team that can like help me make better safety decisions.
No, I was glad to see that in the plan too, because I think there were a lot of people, even especially the younger crowd, saying that 24/7 access was a big
Like
draw.
Saturdays closing at 3, like that was always
Sunday.
Jorgen's
Oh,
complaint.
yeah.
Jorgen's like,
Yeah.
I just got out of bed. Like,
Yeah. The Sundays is the only day.
Yes.
yeah.
The only day that I have meetings every night this week in person.
So on
From
Sunday,
rugby meeting, gosh knows where. Like, Sundays like Saturday I sleep. Sunday I have energy, and there's nothing else.
there's nowhere to go. There will be, but it makes sense. And for the price, like I guess I was surprised as I was talking to them about how expensive it wasn't.
Right.
I was like, oh, why are we not doing
Good
this?
to know.
Yeah.
It also seemed to me like it was something that it relieves a lot of the staff and administration time, like a lot of the hands-on stuff, not just staffing the wellness center, but like back end stuff, because it's so one-stop shop. Even if it's not the last system that we use, if it helps us open up efficiently and operate efficiently for the first year, like, okay, if it costs
Yeah.
us another $5,000 to set something else up later that works better, then at least we've picked something that is kind of all in one, and there are fewer components to like.
And so this
cobble
passport
together.
company too, like the wellness living, like integrates with it. So it actually charges us like $29 a month as their package because they use this passport company. So we could keep this passport company and end up choosing a completely different system down the road too. So it's not one or the other either, which I really liked. It was kind of pick and choose. But so sorry, back to initial startup costs. And then as far as like things that really like have to get done outside of like obviously like paper, we're probably gonna have to get a new printer contract because that weird phone call I got before I got kicked out of the building was like, so you're paying off the printer contract, would you like us to remove it or are you going to leave it on premises? And I'm like, I have no idea. So but the one that we have right now, I end up paying it through Xerox. I think we pay like $500 a month and I print probably 10,000 pages a month for between flyers that go to the schools and flyers to hang up in the building and stuff. And then in the fitness center, all the backpack equipment, the gray backpack equipment that's down, that I have a invoice for $800 that repairs all the cables, all the pads, everything on all the back of stuff. So that's a $1 bill that we need to pay. And I've had Kevin Armstrong, the electrician, come in and he has counted all the light fixtures and stuff to do the SBI grant to go to LED from incandescent, whatever it is. Thank you. Old, horrible. And so he just hasn't got that back to me because it wasn't ever like a thing. But in the basketball court and in the racquetball court, there's like one light that works. It's so bad. And the basketball hoops got ripped down. And I know Jason can vouch for me. There used to be 20 kids that came in every day after school and played basketball. And since those hoops have been down, there's no lights in there and there's like a half a basketball hoop. It's so
That was a huge draw for that crowd.
huge. And so we need to spend $600 on basketball hoops pretty immediately because they wanted to buy like a $3,000 hoop. And the reality is they're kids, they're going to jump on it, they're going to dunk it, and it's going to cost us a new hoop every couple of years. They're $300 a piece, and every couple of years we put up a new hoop for these kids because they're just, that's what they do.
Rather than be there.
I mean, you tell them no and you yell at them and you be really mean to them every time they do it, yes, but like have that's right. But have the reality, like the expectation that in the budget, like we need a new basketball hoop every 2 years. Like I think that's just fair. So I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest expenses if we can't get the SBI grant because you got to get a lift to get up there and get those bulbs changed. But Frank Spazuko did the entire mill in Dexter across from Hannaford with the SBI grant and it cost him $2,200.
I think Efficiency Maine has something too.
So I talked to Steve Winnell. He sent me to the SBI. So it's the same idea.
Same thing.
Yep. But for $2,200 did the whole mill. We have a fraction of what he has. So it can't be that it has to happen. The locker rooms I've got pretty good. We definitely need to spend a couple $100 on shower curtains because they're tragic. And we have families that have memberships to shower. Like that's all they do.
Yeah.
And so having decent shower curtains in the shower, like I feel like it's the least we can do. Other than that, like we can just kind of roll. Once we get the pool, we'll need chemicals, stuff like that. We really need to change the sand in the filter, but it's not a priority because I took really good care of it while I was there. It'll be nice to have it. It'll be nice to have a new sand filter someday, but I can work with what we have. So initially going in, we can spend as much as we want.
Is the pool drained?
Yeah, that was the first thing they did. Like within 10 minutes of telling me they were closing, they neutralized it. They came in 3 days later and drained half of it.
Just half or all of it now.
It's all now. He's drained all of it now. I was letting the kids play in it the last couple of days. It's empty.
Seals and stuff start getting angry when they dry out.
Mhm.
And I think taking the opportunity to maybe put a couple $1,000s into that too, because they sealed the cracks with silicone. So any paint that was put in the bottom of the pool has peeled off. It's destroying the new, well, they might have taken the $3,000 vacuum, but I don't know. But I had a brand new $3,000 vacuum that was just ruining because it's just sucking paint off the bottom of the pool constantly. So,
Well, if they took it, we should find out who paid for that vacuum.
oh no, we did for sure. The only thing that they took that they should have taken is the fridge out of childcare. And so Will Picard, the giant fridge, because it was like a $6,000 fridge that they got on a grant. I don't know, but they cleaned out. They came one day 2 weeks ago with a U-Haul and like parked out back at the pavilion. And Danielle across the street told me, and I went and looked in all the windows. That's the day I found out they changed the locks, so I tried to go in. But they took all the mats out of the climbing hall, like off the floor.
Yep.
They took all the filing cabinets out of Kathy's office, which had only stuff from pre-merge. There was nothing post-merge in there, so I have no idea why they took that.
Yeah.
And they took the fridge out of childcare, and I couldn't see. The fitness center looked like they hadn't taken anything out of there as far as I could tell. And then I went down to the public beach because I have stuff down there, and I just changed the combination on the door because they hadn't taken the kayaks out of there. So I don't know what they took out of the shed because they took the key from the shed. I don't know what they took out of Will's shed because they took the key from that shed. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going back to. So we may have some random expenses, but you have good ideas about that? Did I answer that sort of?
Yeah.
Okay.
The fitness center's gonna need a whole lot.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
One step at a time.
Like it needs updates, and hopefully Remington will take a free membership and bring back this really cool piece of equipment that he brought to us like a month before. It only
He's got a
weighs
bunch of stuff.
30,000 pounds. He doesn't anymore.
Did you?
But I mean, I think for $800 and getting that
Yeah.
equipment back up, and then say like, hey, this is a piece of equipment we want. Like, we're gonna fundraise for it. Here's a thermometer. This is how much money we've earned. It can definitely use updates, but with less than $1,000, the fitness center can be back up and running.
Another thing I have is mirrors as well too. I know people like kids especially like mirrors.
How many times have we been around the mirror thing? How many times?
We've talked about, I want
5
them.
foot by 11 foot,
Yep.
another smaller one as well too, and stuff like that.
It needs paint. Like, so that's on my to-do list is like, how much money do we have to spend? Because we do have a lot of donations right now. So once we get back up and running, like, how do we make this priority list? I think the biggest priority is that $800 in the fitness center is like top because that's going to open first. And then the basketball court, even if we don't do the lighting in the racquetball court and we've had to pay for it, like just getting that basketball court up and running, that's 20 kids after school every day, guaranteed. And just gone within a week. Like that place was hopping at 3 o'clock in the afternoons.
I got my haircut the other day and one of the kids was in there. I said, where are you guys playing ball now? He says, community fitness.
Yep.
Yep.
I saw Jacob and Jorgen were in Dexter playing at Ridgeview the other day when I was there doing a booster meeting. They'd gone all the way to Dexter. They had open gym. So
Was there any kind of partnership with Foxcroft Academy and the exchange students coming to the Y? I know the bus goes there often, but did they have any kind of membership thing?
So there was something, but I think Kathy would be a better person to ask about that because she always dealt with that. Like she knows all the companies that we had. Like Puritan had a employee thing and Hardwood Products had an employee thing.
I think Mayo did a long time ago.
Probably.
Mayo used to.
And like that's on my plan is I really think we can push for that. Like with even like small companies like Harris Lumber. Like
Same with, I'll mention it through the Veteran Affairs system because, as you know, through the Y, I was able to get membership to rehab it. I mean, there's a lot of veterans in this area too.
Yep, and I think I don't know what the program was that we were getting through the VA.
The YMCA did a partnership.
It was so, and we might be able to.
But again, with me being like the only thing I can do is swim.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get doctor's note and they can figure out something.
Because we've got a lot of options. So there's Silver Sneakers, there's Active Renew, there's Prime, there's Fit and Active, and these are all like Renew Active is through United Healthcare. So if you have United Healthcare, like you can get your gym membership. But I've learned this since I don't work there. because I'm trying to like figure out like how we
Yes.
can help people. So it was never anything that was pursued. It was never anything that was, and all those things are phenomenal for our members.
Just to piggyback on the academy a little bit, I don't know the dealings with the swim team leaving and going to Old Town. I don't know if that was because of Old Town or if it was because of
Yep.
something here, but
I know a little bit.
has
about
anybody reached out to Arnold to see if
it. It won't.
So
Why did,
I don't know.
why did it leave?
So, for one, the numbers were small. So, and Lady was on the swim team, my daughter, the one that works. So, I'm trying to remember which sport. Wrestling, maybe. So what happened is Old Town sent whichever sport it was, their crew to Dover. Dover made a deal with them to be able to send our swim team to them. So the coach originally was coming up and letting them be a separate team, but it was the Old Town coach. And then eventually it became unrealistic to do, so they started sending them down there. They struggled to find coaches. They just struggled to. There was something with the cost.
Yep.
The cost of the pool went up,
Yeah.
and FA
I heard it
was
went.
like, we don't want to pay that amount anymore. So that was part of it as well.
And I don't know, like, I don't know what the future looks like. So Arnold Shorey called me back in probably May. It was right after swim team season. We'd really like to talk again. We'd like to come back in the fall.
Nice.
So right around like August, I called both of the coaches and they're like, absolutely not. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I talked to Headmaster Shorey and like he said that we wanted to do that. So I'm just like,
What coaches?
I don't know. Lainey gave me their email addresses. If you say names, I can help you. And they were like, no, absolutely not. And that was the last I heard of it. So I don't know if that was like in the time frame when Old Town supposedly had these conversations with Arnold Shorey and Jack Kluge. And they were like, oh, this doesn't look great. Maybe we should just stick with, or like, I don't know. That's full speculation on
I
my
just
part.
think
but-
something down the road, that's something we should pursue again. I mean,
Yep.
it doesn't make much sense to send Dover kids to Old Town.
Well, they should be
Agreed.
swimming in Dover.
100%.
Dover kids should swim in Dover,
Oh,
I
I
agree.
agree.
If there's a pool in Dover, yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
period.
And that, and
And probably I'm guessing something more, whatever was unreasonable for FA in terms of payment.
so
could
they've
change.
been charging $10,000 for the season,
Mhm.
which I mean, that's actually a pretty good deal, like looking at the pool rental time. But that's also something we can talk about with them too. Like, I don't mind doing that, especially if they've got 3 kids swimming. Like, so have your 3 lanes during an open swim. Like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
But the cost for them to take the kids to,
Exactly.
I mean,
Driving to Old Town every
And the
day.
safety of it.
And they're
And the
not
safety, yeah, the
like, and they're not
safety.
swimming with like Old Town or an OY. Like, that's not what they're doing. Like,
No.
they have, it's a,
They're
so there's
swimming with the high
there's
school
school
team.
sports and then there's club team. So like Lainey, you just swam for school.
Right.
But then Dylan swam both club and
And
for school. So when school was in session, she didn't swim with us at all. But then she swam for club like before school season, and then she swam with club after. So she could go to our meets before and after. She just couldn't like during school. So they're 2 separate things. And some high school kids choose to do just club, some choose to do just team, like depending on where they go. Angie and I have both been bringing our kids to Bangor 3 times a week to do swim team there. And I've been talking to Sean Rich. He's their aquatics director and their head swim team coach. And we are like in full like awesome, let's go, that we can be a satellite swim team for the Bangor Barracudas. We'll have no ties to the Bangor YMCA, but the Bangor Barracudas can swim at the Dover Y. Haven't worked out the logistics on it yet. I suggested what we do with Marita's School of Dance, which is we get 25% of her revenue. So it encourages us to help her program, because if she gets 1 kid, I get 25%. If she gets 1,000 kids, I get 25%. So I threw that out to Sean as well. His logistical like challenge was like, okay, so do they have to be members of both? And I'm like, I don't think so. But so like, if we're getting that 25%, because like the dance kids, they're not members of our Y. Some of them become members because their other like brothers and sisters want to do open swim while they're dancing, or moms want to work out while they're dancing. So that's been beneficial to us in the membership department. And then same thing with Bangor. So like, do we offer just reciprocity to the swim team kids because we're getting that 25%? But those are all logistics we can figure out. But our kids, even if we became, well, when we become the PACC, our kids still couldn't swim in Y League because we're not a Y. So for them to be able to swim
And compete in meets.
and compete in all the
Yeah.
meets. We have to be a Y, but we don't want to be a Y. So Bangor's, they're like, yeah, whatever it takes. And they hired coach staff immediately when this whole thing went down, and they welcomed us with open arms, like the parents, the kids, the coaches. It was phenomenal, like more camaraderie than we've ever had bringing our kids to Old Town. So it was
Wow.
really
That's good to
nice.
hear.
Yeah. And my first year there, we had 12 kids on the swim team. Last year we had 22, and this season we were primed to have 50. So
I honestly think you'd see the same thing happen here once you get,
Yeah.
if you could get a bond with the FA.
I was gonna say, if you
Think
could
it's
make it a
open.
true feeder program,
Absolutely.
it wasn't
Right.
really.
Yep.
Right.
well, that's what happened.
We
We,
were
we had
set up
12 the
to-
year I got here. There were
Yeah.
3 of them were on the FA team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, 100%.
But that FA should have a vested interest because the exchange students, I mean, you'd go in there sometimes at 4 o'clock and you couldn't even,
Yeah.
which is
You
good.
couldn't get in there.
25 kids in that league.
Right. And
Yeah.
I believe when they go and recruit or whatever you call it, one of the assets was a gym membership to the local YMCA.
And it might have been that, like I said, we can ask Kathy that question. 'Cause
But there was, and I don't know the finances behind it.
I don't know if it was all of them or some of them, or if they got a discount. Because I know a lot of times, like the language barrier, I'm like, you didn't pay. They're like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, thank you so much.
But that, like I said, I mean, that's the best interest from that bank, not only swim team, but
I like that.
exchange students.
Do you have a relationship with Arnold Shorey at all?
I do a little bit, enough to go over and sit down and have a cup of coffee with them.
Okay, would you?
Mostly because I got in trouble at field hockey games.
Oh, that's right too. You need to have coffee
I
with
did
him.
have to be with Jackie once this year.
Was it Josh? Coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He was one of
And
them.
he said, heck no.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. He's like, no, we're not doing that at all. We're not. No. I was just like, oh,
Is he an old town coach?
okay. Yeah.
He's the
well,
head
he's
coach
the-
for Old Town.
yeah. So I don't know but no, if you would do that, that would be
I will have a
phenomenal.
cup of coffee with Arnold Shorey.
Because I would love, like, community partnership is.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Well,
what's
it
gonna
should be.
make or break it.
There's no reason FA should be going to Old Town when we've got a pool.
And
Makes
especially, I
zero
mean,
sense.
maybe it
That
was like a
makes no sense at
YMCA
all.
thing.
And
Like,
it's supposed to be
I
a
don't know.
community thing. They should be shamed to bring
And I
their
think
kids
some
in.
people also feel like because we're a YMCA, like we were a YMCA. Like I don't think they understand that it's like, no, it's just like anything else. Like you just stick the sign on the wall and you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
It's so you can be on their website.
Yeah, a
It's
lot
so you
of
can
money.
have that national reciprocity. Like I don't know. But,
No thanks.
so hopefully,
We're good.
I'm good.
Well said.
Any more questions on that one? Let's see. I kind of jumped around a little bit because it just went that way. Business plan. Brian, do you want to just do a quick fundraising committee recap? We just
yeah,
had
we
that.
had our first fundraising meeting. There's like 6 of us here. We have a bigger group than that, but that's who was able to show up tonight. One of the things we talked about was ways to raise money throughout the community. And we've come up with the idea through Amanda to do a 24 days of Christmas calendar thing. We're going around town getting solicitations for items. We've got quite a lot of stuff already where we need like 8, maybe more items.
Yep.
We want to have the values to be around $100 for each day. We're going to draw each day, then that tag goes back in. They can be drawn a second time. We're going to go with $25 for 1 ticket or 5 tickets for $100. It seems a little high, but there's a lot of stuff that you can get on there. You're going to have 24 chances to win. So that's getting started. That should be ready. Then we should have the tickets, which we're going to need all of you to help sell. And you want to show them what the tickets, what it's going to be.
Yeah, sort of. So this is the one I just bought that finished in September from the rail trail. So just cardstock. On the bottom we'll have the ticket piece. You just name, address, like we keep that. They get the calendar. Each day says what the prize is and like the dollar value of it. So if you get drawn on day 1, you win whatever's the prize on day 1. Your name goes back in that.
And something I'd like to see done with that, which we didn't discuss. When we used to do this for the Y, you guys will remember, some of you, that they used to actually videotape it every night when they would draw something up, and it was on every night. People would go look on Facebook.
It
There's a
matters. Yeah, we
live
need that. We need
draw for
social
that.
media engagement.
That that's a good way to,
Yep.
to do
And
that.
Megan Holmes was in this morning, and so she's like Facebook superstar.
Yeah.
So her and Michaela both have that free reign of like the Facebook page also. So
So that will work out good.
yes.
Other things that they came up with was to do a hoagie sale where they were going to bring in and get a bunch of sandwich meat and stuff and do a big hoagie dinner thing.
That'll be in like February.
Super Bowl subs.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
great
that's
idea.
a neat idea.
Yeah, good one. Write it down.
Yep, I like that a
Um,
lot.
Another thing we're gonna do is we got a couple here that want to answer Santa Claus letters. So we're gonna go to Edwards and Shaw's and see if we can put boxes there for kids to put letters in. And then they're gonna get a letter from Santa Claus with a little trinket in it.
We're gonna ask Minnie to make ornaments, and as many ornaments as Minnie can make, we'll mail to the kids, and what she can't make, I'll 3D print.
And then we're gonna put a box out here, and that's something we're gonna start after Thanksgiving. The other thing is going to be a spaghetti dinner that we're planning to do, and we're looking right now at the 14th of December. It's going to be by donation. We're working on all the logistics right now, where we're going to have it, but the first one will be here in Dover. We would like to be able to do one in Milo, one in Dexter, and one in Guilford. And go to the different towns where the grocery stores are. I'm already talking with Edwards down here to see if they will supply everything we need for the dinner, which will give them the benefit. They are providing the food. We will cook it and do a spaghetti dinner and have it done by donation. And we're actually giving back to the community as well as taking from the community. So I think that will be good.
I have 60 Girl Scouts who would love to help you with the Milo one.
Okay.
At the very least. Milo Brown Belt.
Yeah, I started talking with that I talked to Sharon about getting the Kiwanis, and she's looking to see if we can get something out of that. She's thinking that will be maybe $100 to rent that, but I think that's the best place.
I'll take care of getting you the Kiwanis.
Okay.
Awesome.
And but we're going to be looking at that a little bit, maybe in sometime during the winter.
The only thing I would say about December is a little tough.
Well, that's why. Well, that's
9 or 10
why.
days before Christmas.
Well, the reason to have it done here in Dover, in the middle there between Christmas and stuff, is just I'm worried about not keeping the train moving, not keeping people involved. I mean, people may be busy, and if they're hard up, then they give us $1. They give us $5.
Do they still do the hometown holidays parade over here?
They are doing some hometown holiday thing, and we're working around. We come up with these dates because being around Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that.
If you could arrange it to do it the night of the hometown holidays.
Sometimes that gets really hectic because they used to do the dinner dance, and the big thing was to do it for the Whoopie Pie Festival, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming, and so we didn't want to.
Do you guys do a parade?
They do a parade here, but we should probably be in the holiday parade.
But yeah, like
Yeah,
he
we should
just
be.
drives a truck with lights on it.
The radar run folks announced who they're benefiting it this year,
I haven't seen anything yet,
because if not,
but we can definitely reach out to
that
Lindsay.
could easily be
Yeah, I
25
can
plus
pass
grand.
Lindsay's number on to Amanda.
So the radar run here in Dover, that one typically is, choose whatever charity or organization or whatever. I mean, this would be a perfect cause for them. And we just got their 501c3 all set up. So
Nice.
they are legit now.
And that one was 6 months on the dot
Yep.
before we heard back from.
So,
Someone
but that
months, a couple weeks ago.
But that would be good to get on them before they announce that they're.
I know they've
gonna
announced the
something
date,
else.
but I don't know about any other details, but I can.
February 13th.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Same weekend as a Scoodic Lake Fishing Derby.
The problem is there's
Sort of
some
like-
limited,
Yeah, absolutely.
dates in the
Stuff
winter.
every day.
With the way the winters have been, you gotta keep pushing them back.
Absolutely.
I gotta go.
Great
Bye,
suggestion.
Ben.
take care. You good.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yep, I just want to crank it out. We have just a couple more things to go through. And then one more, we had the gift wrapping, Brian.
Yeah, they're going to do gift wrapping during the hometown
I'll be
holidays
there.
thing.
I love that.
And, they're going to be there to wrap gifts,
So
and
this,
they're going to run it along with.
Will's doing a Magic the Gathering game day toy drive and at the Legion Hall. So he's already rented the Legion Hall. And I just was like, hey, we're going to piggyback on your space, Will. So we've got a couple people that have already volunteered to show up. So if anybody's got tape, wrapping paper, want to come wrap, want to come have us wrap your things,
Yes.
come on in. So bring it on. So we'll have all that information out this week. Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, so they're taking care of that. I got the spaghetti dinner. If
I
I
wrote
get
it down. I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
do well.
All right, so that's fundraising. And
I'm wrapping
then
gifts.
on my list, I just wanted to share really
Do that
quickly.
later.
So updates for the PACC, the signs out front here, the hotspot and a computer, Chad Perkins has been working feverishly to like help us with. I don't know if it's because it was an election year or if it's because he is genuinely that awesome, but he has been so helpful. He's been in here several times asking what we need, what he can do after the election even. So I'll take it.
I would also ask him if there's anything he can do to push the 501c along.
Okay.
He may be able to make a few calls and
Help us out. Thank you. And then we officially have 48 East Main Street, which is, it was 48 Park Street and now it's 48 East Main. So just meant to be, right? And we do have a PO box as well. So anybody that needs to mail donations, I opened up a PO box for 6 months. So we have a 6-month PO box, PO box 17. And I did get us a cell phone. I just added it onto my family plan. So it's like $25 a month, but that way I don't have to keep giving out my cell phone number. So 717-5674. So that's on social media and everywhere. Dr. Stenke has secured $50,000 per year in 5-year pledges. So we have $50,000 coming in guaranteed for the next 5 years. And that's all what he did. I have reached out to 25 towns and asked them all for donations. It's all our surrounding towns that use our Y, people we have. If they all give us $1,000 a year, that's $25,000. So, and
would it be
hopefully-
worth our while to attend the board of directors meetings for these towns and just explain what we're going to do?
I think so. And so I just sent emails out yesterday with like my initial ask. And so I have no problem attending those meetings. I do the Dover ones every time and just keep giving them updates. And I also have been at the county commissioner meetings here in Piscataquis County. And so yesterday I reached out to both Penobscot and Somerset County as well. Like I know it's not the jurisdiction, but I used me as an example. Like I live in St. Albans, which is Somerset County. My business is in Dexter, which is Penobscot County. And I work in Dover, which is Piscataquis County. Like we're so cuspy. So
The other thing I would encourage is the Gloria McKenzie grant.
Gloria McKenzie.
Gloria McKenzie, Stephen and Tabitha King Foundation. They both are very, the Stephen and Tabitha King is a little more difficult, but the Gloria McKenzie grant is usually guaranteed if you just take your time.
Okay.
From what I've seen you write, you'll be fine.
What other, so maybe you already shared, I apologize.
That's okay.
But what other grants are we doing?
So we have a whole list of grant stuff. We can't do a whole lot without our 501c3. Jana Wassel, who was the director at the Y for a long time, she's got a lot of connections and hopefully that's going to work. She's got a huge
Well,
list that she sent out.
There's four grant writers, correct? You'll be number
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
That
and Jana,
at some point, being on the fundraising committee, I want to get all 4 together and let everybody start rattling brains.
well, that's what
and-
they've started the spreadsheet. So it'll be shared with everybody and they can all dump things into them. And
If I haven't been in touch with any of them, but if none of them have a premium database access, I pay for it actively as a consultant. So it's called Instrumental. Happy to make one seat available to one of us or to do some pro bono searching.
that's cool.
If we divvy it up, then it'll go real fast.
See, that's why I think it's important to get them down. Setting.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
this
We'll
TV thing. I
I
like
know.
to see people's faces and see the movements and be able to judge what I see.
When we do get established, I do have a grant writer from Washington DC that's willing to help out in any way.
See, there's 5.
She wrote the Sebec Fire Department. She's a summer resident of Sebec. Long story short, I get introduced to her. She wants to help the community. She invited us to her camp. We sat down. She asked what we needed for equipment. We gave her a list. I left thinking, when I got the pickup, I looked at her business card and her work address was 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C.
All right.
So I guess I better pay attention to
That,
this.
that was a good one.
And she just got us $10,000 from State Farm.
That's awesome.
And she's very willing to help. Eventually, we'll move up here when she retires. So
That's
when
amazing.
you guys get ready to write some grants.
Good. I love that. PACC, let's go.
We got to get that.
I'm gonna ask Chad tomorrow. So, donor recognition. So this is just something to kind of like have in your brains. It's nothing that needs to be decided. The Cotton Fitness Center, they give us $16,000 a year. Their plaque is embarrassing. Like that needs to, it's like dirty fingernail yellow and hasn't been changed. And nobody even knew that that was the John and Marion Cotton Fitness Center for a family that's given us $16,000 a year for a very long time. So that needs to happen. And then Megan had a really great idea, like for our higher end donors doing like Monson slate plaques because it's local and it's just, that'd be really nice. And then offering up handprint donations for like families and kids, $25. You get to like actually put like your real handprint like on the pool or on one of the walls, like anywhere. And then I talked to Jason, I threw this one, I sent it to you this afternoon. I had a brain, I'm like, so I know we're like rebuilding like something that was already built, but we're also building something brand new. And so offering like a founding member donation. I personally just did it down at the May Discovery Museum in Waterville. I bought 2 for $300 a piece. So both of my kids' names are on plaques and kind of like memorialized as long as it's open. So you can put whatever you want on the plaque. It can be in memory, it can be a family, but like as a founding member, because this is a brand new thing. And I think people like that, like I'm a founding member, a little bit better than like I'm a donor. Like founding member sounds like you were there from the start. Like you.
Well, they did that up to because I went through community fitness the other day. I'd never been in until the other day. It's amazing. And they've got that on the wall. That first one you go in there, that's the whole founding, all the people that donated, and that would be a good way to set it up. It was like a tree. And
it's the people that make it happen. Like it's the people right now that are on board that, because they don't even have anything really to look for. Like they don't know. We might not even open, and they're just helping and hoping. And I thought that was cool. Anyway, went through all of that already. Your wife gave me phenomenal. She watched a 2.5-hour Zoom meeting that I did with this wellness living company, and she gave me like feedback from it. She's amazing. So I'm meeting with them tomorrow. She gave me a whole list of questions to ask. It's awesome. Talked about that. Something for my police officer members. One thing that we did have with the Y, anyone who went into our database was immediately run through the federal sex offender registry. I don't know if there's something that we can have so that we can still have that level of security in our building. I don't know. I don't know if we can get it through a police department or through the state, or if it's something we can just get. I don't know what that looks like, but I think it's important that we continue keeping that as a rule, like no sex offenders.
So as soon as they put in the system, like a new member, it would check them on the spot. So now if somebody made a membership, you kind of have to be like, you apply Monday, you'll be ready Friday.
You could, or if there's a way, I don't know, like if there's a way to.
That's why that program is so expensive.
I don't know if there's a way to dump it through. I don't know what it looks like. So
there's a sex offender registry.
Yeah. But like, do you put every single person, like just hold tight, let me take your name.
If they register. If they don't, I mean, it's a crime. But
I don't know. So maybe just food for thought. Think about that.
You could always just do that on the membership. Like you process every Thursday, and then that gives you a couple of days to.
How did you do it before?
Like with the Daxco, like we just put it in. It was part of like the YMCA. It's probably like 6 months ago that it like came into effect. As soon as they go into Daxco and you like hit send.
But where do they get the information? Is it
docket? I don't know the answer to that.
Probably had a code.
No idea.
That searched out.
I could check with the Bangor Y.
Info, we can figure out who your insurance is, even though they always ask you for your card, right?
They couldn't link it right to the sex offender registry and have it automatically. I mean, I'm no computer.
That's one of those things where you probably can, but there's certain licensing, like in a public building like this, you can play the radio over the overhead. It's actually a license.
That's not insurmountable. That's fixed.
Okay, I just think it's important.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fix it. The only thing we really didn't talk about was a whole lot of like programming stuff, but we can meet again and do that. Staffing hours, I think like a 7 to 6 and then 7 to 4 on Saturdays as far as staffing, especially if we've got the 24-hour access. We can change that. Childcare lease, figuring out age requirements, like nobody obviously can come in after hours that's under 18. Like it's just gonna be an insurance thing. And then
will it increase our insurance having it open 24/7?
So I asked Brittany that and she said no. She said it wasn't not significantly enough to matter.
Even with the pool?
I don't know. So I don't know. But the pool's gonna be locked, definitely. Like there'll be no access. So the pool is no more open if the Y is open when the doors are locked than if it's not, because the outside access is still, and you can see where people have tried to get in the pool, like all the trim around it is, and I'm surprised they haven't, because those doors need to be replaced sooner than later. But they don't really latch properly. But yeah, so I don't think so. as long as it's locked and,
Talking like the back doors out behind the pool.
yeah, the outside
So
doors.
would we be wise to put fencing around those doors, just kind of a two-door?
Maybe, I don't know if you can, like, I don't know how that works
You
with
can't
egress
legally.
Well, you can still make an exit egress.
through the
I'm
fence.
saying as far as somebody trying to sneak in, they wouldn't be able to.
Probably be cheaper to, by the time you put a gate in that swings outward with the flow of traffic, probably cheaper just to fix the doors.
That's, and they, I mean, they have in the past. I don't know if anybody's ever got in. You can see where they've tried for sure. Imagine, it's going to lie. But cameras would also fix that problem. If you put a
Yeah,
camera on the
this is
backside of the
true,
building,
too.
been like, hey, look, dummy,
Usually when people see that big bright red eye, they're
that are
like,
actually
"Oh,
working.
I'm doing
Yeah.
Something I shouldn't.
So I want to talk to you then about security camera information, just so I can get some numbers so that we can put that for real. Only other thing I have, unless, so we do have open floor if anybody has. Yeah,
I reached out to you about the Girl Scouts writing that letter.
yes.
They have, so, our juniors, we have a multi-level troop, our juniors or fourth and fifth graders have written a letter that's gonna go out to Milo and Brownville students or and parents, saying why they used the Y and why the PACC is so important. Really like saying, not really announcing anything new that isn't on Facebook, just really saying why it's important to them. And they wrote up a survey, one page will be for parents, one page will be for kids, on what people in our communities want out of the PACC. And then it can also be used in other communities. So when I get all the files, but you can
Perfect.
send it to others and use that as like a single page survey you could send out to any of the schools to get people to get that stuff. And so we're hoping to have that back within a week or so.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
will is this going to be a letter saying how much they like it, what they would like to see? And it goes out to parents at the school.
And then,
Will there be something on there for them, you can help us buy?
yes, so it's going to point back to the social media stuff, follow here, here's where you can get more information. And then we will collect the surveys and collate as part of their project.
Good.
To get to deal with the data.
It's awesome.
Excited to have them
That's
like,
good.
Yeah,
calculate percentages.
I love it. I love getting kids involved.
Teach them that they can manipulate the data to
Yeah.
anything that they want to prove.
But it gives all these kids the ownership too. Like these kids have now had a part
I
in
learned that a long
founding
time
the
ago.
new PACC. Like, so when they,
Right.
that's the generational story.
Right.
Like,
And we've got kids there who really only used it through like the Bearcats, like Bearcats coming to swim
Mhm.
or coming during the summer when, they've got free access to come in and swim. One of mine, Eleanor, is in that group too, and she was really excited. And she's like, I need to be on a swim team. I live too far away to go to Bangor. I can't now.
All capital.
Right.
Yeah.
One way on a weeknight.
I hear ya.
You can't.
We're all carpooling right now, so let me
Everyone
know.
thought it was crazy to drive here as far as it was.
You did good.
So, but yeah, so we had a lot of different opportunities that, something could have thought about, but they picked the one. They picked this. So they're very excited to pitch in.
I'm excited to have them part of it. I think it's really cool. That's what we're here for.
So if you need any other hands for things like
Okay,
events,
let them know they're in.
let us know. Yeah. Like we are happy because, they wanted to rent the pool as their party for cookies
Mhm.
for last year. Because we sold like $4,000. We earned like $4,000 on cookie sales.
That was
So
just to my house.
$18,000 worth of cookies delivered by ambulance to my house.
Now, it's funny, she says that, because I think over at the ice arena, they're dealing with that this year, right? I think they said they were not opening the snack shop. And somebody wanted to get in there. I know my kid's on hockey, but there's multiple avenues there.
Yeah, I think if the swim team comes back, you have a concession stand.
Yeah. Yes.
And
That's a great way to do it. And it teaches those kids a lot about,
It's huge.
anyway, back to the
Yeah.
Girl Scout cookies. Too soon.
Very early. Soon. Any other floor comments, questions, things I need to be doing, want me to be doing?
I just will say once again, not to beat a dead horse, but
Don't beat her anymore.
you're remarkable
Don't beat her anymore.
in everything you've done. As far as you got answers for everything, you're reaching out. If you were drawing a salary by the hour, I don't know as though they could pay you enough for all the work you've done. And I want you to know that I know it's insane. It's insane. And as far as programming goes, I think the sky's the limit. I had no idea how much we were thwarted by the YMCA as a whole on what we couldn't do. And it's
I tried to tell you.
I was in the middle of a chest exercise. So you talk about we didn't get the programming, we do that next time. I love the open concept of what do you want to do? What can you put out there as far as resources? So,
I'm excited.
but I
about
do
that.
want to put on the record, your work is monumental in getting us to this point. So thank you.
I would second that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I love this place.
See you
Clearly.
driving- See you driving this way every time I'm back there.
No, you're a mom, you're
just
all
do it.
these things.
I have so many people like, you just go every day. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like I got up every morning and just went. So now I just get up every morning and go. Like, I don't know. What would I do if I wasn't here? My house would be really clean.
Maybe we can hire you a housekeeper.
But
It's a good
thank you.
business
I
present for
appreciate
you.
it. I do. But I love it. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. And it's important to me and the community. So thank you for letting me, I guess, because nobody had to take me along on this journey.
Listen, your drive and ability is unmatched.
Thank you.
They had no idea what was gonna happen when they shut that Y down. They
Yeah.
thought we were gonna walk away.
They thought I was leaving that day. That's why
Oh.
they were closing for the
Yeah.
day. And I'm like, we have 20 kids
I get
coming
a
here
call.
in 2 hours. Like,
I'm in the
no.
garden, I get a call. I made 2 calls and showed up at your place.
Yep. It was intense.
This was our third summer doing summer camp at the Y, and with you in charge, it was hands down the best summer that the
Thank
kids
you.
had had.
It was fun.
Been
It was so much, but it was fun.
It's not, it's fun. That was just one of many examples.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do. I don't take compliments well. So. Only other thing we need is to set a next meeting. Oh, sorry, Michaela.
I sent you the contact info for Lindsay Sands. She and her husband are the one that run the radar runs.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I think
Okay.
give her a call and
Yeah,
see what they've decided
definitely.
this year. 'Cause I don't know.
Could
Okay.
you get a hold of her before Amanda gets
I
hold
can
of her?
message her right now.
And let
Yeah,
her know that it
So many
was brought up,
contacts. I
so
love
just
it.
give them a little bit of a heads up so they can be
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Think about
Even
it.
if they've thought of somebody else, maybe we can get half of it. Maybe they can do 2.
No,
Yeah, I think-
only one.
No, but if,
We need it all.
Well, I think last year they split it between 2.
Yeah.
But so,
25
yeah,
grand.
Yeah, you can do a lot with that. It's awesome. Next meeting, I know,
Next week. I
fundraising's
really think we
meeting
need
next
it.
week. I don't know if the board, do you want to meet again in a week? Do you want to wait 2 weeks? Do you want to wait a month? I don't know what you guys want to do.
So they're meeting on Tuesday, right?
yes,
meeting is on
because of that,
Tuesday.
we should be meeting Wednesday or Thursday.
It would have to be Thursday. Right?
I will not be around Thursday.
Can you do a
We're talking
Zoom?
about next week.
Next week.
I won't have any service. I'm going to hunt camp.
Well,
Good.
Let alone you probably don't want me zooming in.
oh, we could have some fun with that.
And I will always try and remember to record them too. So if somebody can't make it.
You can't do the 4th. You can't do the 21st, Jace. You can't do the 20th.
What day is that?
Wednesday. You work for the state, bro. Don't even give me you go.
What day's coming up? We're hunting too.
You can come.
We might be in the 3rd. Is the only thing I'm
Okay, you're leaving
I
on
don't
that
think
day
we've
too.
got 3 days. You could do the 20th.
Third Deb's today.
20th?
too soon to do it the night
Yeah.
after their meeting.
We ought to make sure that
Maybe.
somebody from that someone can fill us in on what.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No,
Do
for
we
sure.
want to move it
We do
to
Friday night.
the 27th?
Bangor 443.
Oh, he's busy.
The day before Thanksgiving and holiday training ground.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, 27th, I'm gone.
Oh, that's
so
the
I
night
think-
before Thanksgiving.
Mark, are you zooming and driving?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually stopped.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Calling someone.
So whatever you guys want, I'm in.
Could we do it maybe earlier then
Earlier
in the day,
on the 20th.
on any day? I mean,
I'm unemployed. I can do whatever you guys want.
I'm tired, so right now I can go anywhere and do anything
I got 5.
until I leave.
We're waiting on Jason, I guess.
20. We talking 20th?
We're talking
about
20th.
June.
I can do the 20th during the day. I leave the 20th. Or the morning of the 20th.
During the day, you work for the state.
Yeah, but I get paid to be here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to be hunting.
You're tagged out. That's
Bird
illegal.
hunting.
Did you get a deer? It's a poor little damn name, Bravo.
No. I'll show you a picture.
We would lie to
So,
So Lindsay said they have not picked beneficiaries yet, and that she would definitely consider us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you from all of us.
When are you guys coming back from hunting?
I'll be back Saturday.
It's easier.
I should be back Wednesday. I just don't know what time.
Wednesday the 27th?
No, Wednesday the 20th.
Oh. You're coming back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But if you want to meet during the day, I don't know.
We could do, I mean, I don't mind weekends either. Like
Yeah.
Saturday I have a swim meet all day, but I can do either super early or super late.
What about Sunday afternoon?
I can do
Or
Sunday
Sunday
afternoons.
morning or Sunday midday?
I like
You
Sunday
can't hunt-
morning.
You can't hunt on Sunday.
Get it and get out of the way.
Can't do that anymore?
But,
You want to
You
do
wanna
Sunday
do
morning?
it? The 24th at 9 o'clock.
I love it.
how's that with everybody else?
Perfect. Yeah, works.
I love that.
Might be able to do it. And then we do hour typically, or
Yeah, I think so. We went a little bit over tonight. Sorry. I try not to. I try and be respectful of that. We got excited.
It's gonna be complicated as we're getting going.
You
Yeah.
have church. Do you want to do earlier than 9?
church starts at 10. So I mean, if I had to, I could do it kind of remote, then do whatever. But I mean, seems like the majority can get that time. So as long as it's not like from here on out, then
Okay.
work with how we can.
What about people that weren't able to attend tonight? Because there's quite,
I'll send out a reminder.
Yeah,
Yep. And then I'll just
everybody
send out
else
this. Yep. So Sunday, 9 a.m.
Yes.
For the 24th.
Sunday the 24th.
Sunday the
Sunday the
24th?
24th,
Yes,
yeah.
not this Sunday. Sunday the 24th, 9 a.m. in the calendar. As soon as I have an update on Tuesday, I'll obviously send that out beforehand. Anything else? Meeting adjourned? That's your job.
Meeting adjourned?
Yes. Yes,
I'll get her
please.
set
yeah,
up.
we got one,
Yeah,
hold on.
I had hoped to be able to arrange a meeting with the medical staff up at the hospital. I called and initially looked good, but apparently when they joined with Northern Light, the rules changed and they cannot invite anybody in to speak about any other organizations or to canvass for support, which is too bad because in the old days, the medical staff back in the 80s, 90s, et cetera, was very supportive.
Yeah.
But if you know personally, could any of the folks on the medical staff either here or at CAD, because it's now the combined staff, why, see if you can get them involved. I know very few of the present people up there that are actually practicing. The people that I've worked with are either dead or in Florida. But I'm going to try in other ways to contact them. That's another thing, another group that we ought to contact to see if we get support and
Yeah.
both financial and otherwise.
Huge advocates for us.
We have Dr. Wagner.
Yep. We have Dr.
And
Wagner.
you know, when he was talking about that, we should go after Trey Merrill and get a hold of him.
I just
Because-
talked to him before I come here.
Yeah, because he used to be on the board with
Yeah.
me, and he is. I guess they're not affiliated with Mayo, right?
Down East Orthopedics.
Down East Orthopedics is somebody completely separate. And then another one, we need to get Chad, or some of us need to get a hold of over here to Katahdin Health and get them on board.
That's Chad Perkins. He's on the board
Right.
there. So he's already,
And that they
He's
could
on
be a
that.
big. I mean,
yep. No, that's a great
There's
suggestion.
no substitute for personal connection.
no,
So
absolutely.
if you know nurses, PAs, nurse practitioners, physicians,
We have
whatever.
two, a PA and a doctor. What's her name? She bikes with you. She's a PA in Milo now.
Gene Hanlon.
Nope.
I don't know.
They come in, they work out at the Y. They're very physically fit, dark skinned.
Oh, she just got a job.
Yeah, she's in Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a PA.
How's her name?
And her husband, her boyfriend,
Oh, Destiny Riles and
I thought she was
Patrick.
working at Mayo though. I
Um,
thought she just
Their
got a
fiance
She
is
just
in
got,
Milo.
yeah, she just got it.
Yeah,
But she
was in
works,
the ER
no,
when
he,
we
yeah,
were-
she works in Dover. He works in Milo. That was
Okay,
it.
that
He
makes
works in
sense.
Milo, she works in Dover.
Suggestion.
And they were at the meeting in
Minimal
Central
thinking.
Hall.
Yes,
There can't be two people.
I talked to him last night.
Anything else?
And they don't like going up to, they like the facility, but they don't like the travel up there. They would rather be in Dover. You go to, they go to community fitness.
Yeah, a lot of people that were talking about Dover shutting down, like, oh, that's where I'm gonna go.
Yep. And Brittany's wonderful. Like, so I mean, obviously they're huge advocates for us, just as we are them. Jason is Brittany's fiance. So
He told me the other day, he said,
We're
I
at the
gotta, I
quad.
gotta be really, really, really careful here. I said that talking, oh, I gotta be careful.
We're at the Kiwanis meeting together the other night.
I met her, I met
That's all
Brittany's parents.
And her,
Wonderful
her
people.
son's a
Jeff and
swimmer
Barbara?
too, so.
Yeah, I'd never met her before.
Yeah.
They act just like Brittany.
Yeah, it's good people.
I'm gonna
Their father's
send out the business plan to everybody, and I'm also gonna send out this overview of age guidelines that I was using before, just to have everybody look at, because I don't know. I've thought about it too much. Now it doesn't make sense.
If you have this digitally, you can just send it to me.
Yep. I'll send that. Guidelines.
It's different. You wanna talk membership for a second?
Do you want me to? You don't want me to do that
You got
today.
somebody asking about membership.
No, like just
No,
ask
how
you
much
about
it is
community
over-
fitness.
Oh, community fitness.
But the whole thing is she wants to set up the same idea.
There's,
It's gonna be a tiered thing. So
oh no,
much of
it's not.
tips-
It's not like community fitness. It's a whole different thing. I worked that out with Megan this
I
morning.
don't look there.
So community
I'm gonna- I'm
fitness
gonna put the
for
thing over there.
an adult is $40 a month. So she's at 40. But we can, like, that's another, like, at our next meeting, we can break down my my brain dump of membership pricing.
We've been able to figure
Is
out
he going up there,
that
Ed?
we will have
I
to
go
have at
to
least
that.
800 members or something to make.
So according to numbers that we had, which I don't know, I can't wrap my brain around. We had 720 youth memberships. We had 225 young adult memberships. We had 960 adult memberships. We had 2,100 family memberships. I don't know how. We had 686 older adult memberships and 192 senior couple memberships. So I mean, we had 5,000 members.
I mean, it sounds right with the amount of people around here, the only YMCA, but.
Yep. And it just, like, I mean, I think one thing that we are going to lose that we weren't before is that their system, once you became a member and you got set up on auto draft, you were a member for the rest of your life on auto draft. Like, that's how Daxco works. The new system will be like, hey, time, like, here's a reminder for your payment coming, which I think is much more pleasant and morally correct.
Yes.
But I think we will lose some of that. Like, I accidentally paid for my membership for 12 years. Can I have that back? No refunds.
Is it gonna be the same price as it was before? Is it like
So
less?
honestly, if you want to chat about it, we definitely can.
Well, I mean, we can. later.
No, I'm in no rush.
It was just wondering, I've known plenty of people, even when I was growing up, my parents were like, it was just a little bit out of touch with them. And just,
So my
there's some kind of
breakdown
happy
that I
medium.
did, I changed it completely from the youth because it doesn't make sense for our facility. So I went with bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. So like a bronze membership for an adult, like for apples to apples, $30 a month gets you fitness center and locker room, $30 a month. If you are a silver member, it gets you courts, all the wellness classes, plus the bronze. And then that one hits at $50 a month. If you have a gold membership, gets you all of the silver plus all of the swims for $60 a month. So those are just the adult prices. And then there's also a platinum, which is all of the gold. And that also gets you child watch during fitness classes and a free locker for $100 a month, or you can just pay it because you love us. And then, so no family memberships, nothing, but all students get a 50% discount. So looking at like FA, like most of them would want to be a bronze because they use the fitness center and they do the courts. So that's going to cost them $25 a month, which is $5 more than they were paying before. And then veteran discount, and then a service/seniors discount for anyone with a work badge, ambulance, police, fire, nurses, teachers, with the same discount as veterans. So, and that's my initial like brain dump, which can all be tweaked, but the numbers kind of make sense there. They're competitive with all the local. So I spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I did community fitness, the Bangor Y, the Ellsworth Y, Miller Fitness, and Millside Fitness and Dexter. So I compared our numbers to like all of those numbers and like apples to apples, adult memberships, youth memberships. And with this, I think it makes more sense. But the people that are using the pool, sorry,
Yep.
it has to be different, and the pool has to be run differently.
Yeah.
Because in the mornings, we have 6 lanes, 6 swimmers. They all have a senior membership, which is $30. So I'm getting $1 a day for 6 members. So I'm making $6 and I'm paying my lifeguard $20, not including any of the other expense for the pool. So they're not going to like it just because it's how it is. But the new program I can assign. So when you book your lane, you can book lane 6 because there's only one person in it. You can book lane 5 because there's only one other person in it. And then like lanes 1 and 2 can be open swim at the same time. I can keep lane 6 open for lifeguard training. Lanes 5 and 4 are lap swims, and lanes 1, 2, and 3 are open swim. And so when you go into the new, like the app, you can book your times. There'll only be so many spots open for each thing. The pool won't get overbooked. I won't have too many people for my lifeguards. I'm turning people away. People will just have to get used to that, like booking. Like you live in the night, so it's a little bit like we have a fitness class going on and we have a lap swimmer. Evenings are a little different than the mornings. I have a family that would come in, elderly couple, and yell at me at least twice a month because they like to work out side to side in the pool. And when I put a lane in, it really ruined all of it. I'm at least, it wasn't Brian. And I'm just like, do an extra
actually,
lap.
he's the one that said have at it. I was like, oh, this is great.
No, they weren't doing it. It's just a few of us open up the lanes.
Because we have so many people that would complain.
Before they would be doing
and
aqua hit.
Yes.
And they'd be like, you can't swim lanes. And I was like, why? There's a lane up. And then you showed up 2 years ago and that.
Yeah, now we just do that. But I've never been to a pool where they don't share the pool. I've never been to a pool where there isn't a swim lesson, an open swim, a lap swimmer, and a lifeguard class happening at the same time. Because you got to pay for one lifeguard. Like that's how you make aquatics work. It's not, there's 2 people in the pool right now because they like to work out side to side.
Watching one person swim back and forth endlessly. They just kind of...
So it's going to have to change as far as that goes. But I think the pricing reflects it. But I also think it's really important to honor and to do scholarships as well. So I just broke it down based off. And so Ellsworth and Bangor are 2 completely separate Ys, but they use the exact same scholarship program. And it's just if you make 55 plus, no discount. 45 to 54.9, you get 10%. 35 to 44.9, 20%, and then 30%. And under 25K is 40% discount. Like just scholarship, bring me your tax thing. This is what you get. And it just makes sense because we don't want to turn families away because they can't swim. Right. And like I looked at it for my kids. So like I don't really use the Y a lot, but my kids are both on swim team. I swim some. So if both of my kids have a membership to use the pool, it would be $60 each. They get 50% off. So it'd be $60 for both of them. And then if I wanted to swim with them as a member, it would cost me $5 to swim with them. If I wanted to swim with them and I chose to just be a guest and not a member, it would cost me $10 to swim with them. And the 2 times a month that I get in the pool to actually swim, I would just pay $10 twice and be like, I'm just going to pay you to go in the pool. So it really it made sense. And I broke it down for a couple different families that I know, and we could figure it all out with programming and all that stuff too. And I don't know, and it may not work. We may go back to square one, but it doesn't make sense for Remington who comes in and uses the fitness center to pay the same price as somebody who comes in and goes to all the fitness classes, uses the fitness center, goes and swims in the pool 3 times a week, and then takes a shower.
But he uses it so much, I think you ought to be paying double.
He does use it twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day.
But like that.
And his name is like really cool. Like Red Dog, that's like really cool.
But like that was my
She gave you up on that one.
Yeah,
That was her. Don't tell her anything, she'll tell you.
Told you I'm not good at secrets. So that's my thoughts on that. And I'm not, well, you all know me. Like I'm super good with people being like, that's stupid. So don't ever feel like I'm not gonna, because I think about stuff too much sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a way easier way to do this. So. Anything else?
Well, it seems how the meeting was adjourned 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
The record.
That was all off the record.
See you, Marky.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks.
Drive careful. Good night.
See ya.
Yes.
Oh, that's a little girl like that, they go into that.
Oh,
my place.
you know what, Brian? I didn't miss you. I like him.
She did, didn't she?
What?
Lexi, she shot a nice one
I
over
don't know what
the
I got.
It was 180, 198 pounds. without
Someone
the
gets a
leather.
little trigger finger happy like it's the first time.
It was 190
pounds.
You had 190 pounds?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Your deer was 190.
Was it full of apples?
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Full of bricks. Full of bricks. Thank you.
Oh, we need to get a group though. Yeah, I got stuff somewhere.
Yes, I would love to.
Because I think that's important.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about the energy, losing energy, losing momentum, and we got to keep it going.
Gavel right there. Should pull that off the wall.
What's that?
Gavel right there. Should have pulled it off the wall.
How's Lainey doing?
Oh, she's doing awesome.
Tell her I said,
Yeah. Well, she'll be home for Thanksgiving on the Wednesday before.
yeah, we won't see her in the pool, but maybe I can choose to see her.
Nice choice, everyone.
Yeah,
You guys
nice to meet
in a
you.
week or so.
Yep.
Bye, thank you.
Okay.
You got both or something?
Yeah.
Allergies. Yeah, I have them in the fall, I have them in the spring. I get over them and then when I go south, I get
Yeah, when do you?
Christmas.
That'll be amazing.
Christmas Day, and I'll be back the 9th of
Oh, you're leaving?
February.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, your grandmother's having a
Fantastic.
day.
I didn't know
Thank you
that.
so
Who are
much
you
for
gonna
being
get
here.
to the
Thank you.
airport? I said, oh, fuck.
Sir?
Who's me?
Take care, Bob.
Yeah, I didn't know you were leaving.
Yeah.
As far as,
I'll be back on the 9th of February, and I start flying up and stuff. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait. That's gonna be so much fun.
I've got this Linux server from,
Is it?
1980.
It is. You meet all
Okay, that's
these
before
people.
me,
You meet
but-
everybody wants them.
obviously-
The
Yeah.
puppies are so good. They just sit in their crates and they sit there and they look like little Jack in the boxes. And they sit there and everybody looks at them and everybody wants to
Everything is
pat them.
web-based that we're gonna do.
And they're
I would.
unbelievably nice dogs. And you just
You
pick
don't
them
have
right
to
up
have
and hand them to
posted
the
there, and
people.
the good thing about a business
And you
like
keep them
yours
right
is
in the little puppy
24
things
by
and
7
they,
and
you know,
right,
stewardess,
Yeah.
everybody's so good with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send somebody to open the door.
And then you get to meet these really
Right.
cool people.
As far
The one that
as,
one from Brazil is coming here this summer.
Oh, no kidding.
He's bringing his 2 kids and he's coming to Maine.
So are you gonna be flying like all over the world?
Because I know there's probably rules like.
I want to go to Australia. That's my, they're talking right now.
As long as
I
we're
figured
not
maybe
walking
somebody
around
in
the back.
Australia and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it'd be
It'd be cool. I
a
can
tricky
fly
thing, but
there,
you can
stay
still
4 or
set
5
cameras
days
up
and
to
fly back.
say, okay, well, the pool gets locked at 6 p.m. It's
Big
on, so
spiders
if
on
kids ever
there.
did get in there, at least you could.
I know,
like,
they're
They got
they're
big
very
snakes in
safe.
Brazil.
I know who
When
it
Alan
was.
went, he had a huge one in that.
I think as long as it's not visible to the public.
But the people
There's
in,
ways to do it. We-
in Brazil, the guy that bought that was a Supreme Court justice in Brazil.
Really?
And, but it's like, it's like our
I've been around
state
for a while.
justice.
In the
Okay.
service, I've been around.
And he's like the head of it and
As far as
nice
getting a
guy,
license
he's
plate,
probably
we-
in his
That all depends on what
late
you're
Oh,
doing.
I
forties,
don't
got
get
2
it.
good
No,
mom.
No, I don't think so.
Kind of reminds me of like lady marry one of them.
Oh,
They're coming this summer, and they're
Identify
nice, like wonderful kids.
This is
And they speak very good English, they travel all over the world. They want to be, one wants to be a international attorney, and the other one wants to be some other type of attorney he wants to be.
Wow.
And, they live in the most expensive real estate in the world.
This long.
And I had to go through three different security checks to get through it. And they went up the elevator with me, let me out of this apartment, and I had lunch with them.
But the child care.
Can't wait for you to come back. We're friends on Facebook now. And
Just things to.
and he's very good
Yeah.
friends with,
But I mean-
Christina, and
I
they
know
got a
they
place
like
for him to
him.
stay.
Are
They're
they
gonna
motion
come stay for a
cameras, like,
week.
so they're not
He
recording?
wants his kids to see.
Like,
They've
so like my
never
nest doesn't
been
take any
like
like
in the
storage
wilderness
space if there's nothing
where they
happening.
didn't
but
have to
if something
worry,
moves-
and they didn't have to worry about security, and
Like this is motion.
they're just coming and nobody really knows who, because they're their
Right.
lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just coming
Go
here,
back
and
to here. and
nobody's
I
gonna know
looked
when he
at,
gets here, just be able to be
Last motion, 1 hour,
who they wanna be.
27 minutes ago.
Do you know,
So
like,
that's probably
they've
Kim,
set
you
a
know, this
date
is a
or they
kid,
just-
No, we're there
watching beer.
when I go back. That's,
You know, stuff like that.
they're just so laid back,
Like
so,
Sophie just went out
the
back.
people there are so nice, and they're beautiful people all the way
I've been
around.
following
It's not
these
a
because
homely,
it's
ugly,
going around.
nasty,
So I'll get on here and be like,
miserable-looking
there's been no
person.
motion.
Everybody-
I can send
even the
something.
dog walking on the streets.
So here's this, I'll let me do this. And that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
But, you know,
It's very, very,
Cameras
very,
are-
very, very. very
Very
nice.
easy. There's been a
I
lot
don't
of
speak
people
the
who have
language,
asked me,
but,
and I'm like, if you run the
they-
wire,
I have a lot of friends that have a lot of Brazilian
how do I
friends
make
now.
it work on the
Yeah.
computer? I do that. If you want something that you can access your
I'm not a
phone
very people
remotely,
person anyways.
that's fine.
No,
If
you're
you want
very
something
introverted,
that's-
really.
No, I just want it locally
Too
to
bad.
TV in my office.
I mean, the cool thing is the guys that go
We
there,
can do
the
that.
girls,
I think
they,
remote's
they're from all over the world.
I
but
try to
They
keep
go there for the
things,
summer.
I try to
They
keep
go there
things
for a
off
month or 2
off the
months or
cloud
whatever,
in
and they have these
certain
events. And
aspects.
I'm gonna
just
get,
because,
I'll be
like,
there for
say
New Year's this year,
you
which
did
is
have
one of the
the camera
top
in
5
your
destinations
front
in the world to go see
entryway, right?
New Year's
Um,
fireworks.
And
The
it's
whole
connected
beach is
to the
lit
cloud,
up.
you
It'll
connect
be
to it to your phone. If you
Cool.
can't, there's
You gotta
always that
dress in white.
possibility
Everybody
of,
dresses in
oh,
white.
the data center's
For
messed
New
up and
Year's.
you were seeing somebody else's cameras.
You
You're
have
I need
white?
white.
yours.
No, I need white
You
shorts.
don't allow internet access to
I
those
got white
devices.
sneakers that I
You have no.
that's just found.
That makes sense.
So I gotta find some white shorts somewhere.
Don't think you really need that kind of
And-
security,
and-
you know, it's more like a bag.
Well, you're leaving on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cash
You
register,
don't get
something,
Christmas
something,
present. Oh,
maybe
you're
you're
not
trying to
gonna
find.
be
Then
a
I don't
person
bring
taking
back stones
money
when I
out,
come
and it's
back.
like, you have one in the ceiling tile or
You
something
gave like
that
84
nobody knows about.
Oh, you're
Right,
wrong.
so
Bring
just
them
take into
back.
consideration,
Bring them
if you
back
can,
stones.
walk around the site and say, I
Let
have
me
a
know.
one, if you can, you're
Send
familiar
me your
with
size.
where.
I'll send
Yep.
you some.
Oh, that's how you can get a good outside.
I think I
view,
watched
and you
them
could be
before.
like,
Probably get
well, this is the main
red.
entrance, I want
Yeah.
here, this is over where. there's
Okay.
a
They want me to
grill.
go
I want to
bright
be able to
white,
see
bright
this
white.
door, I don't care about the basketball. If you do,
Let me know.
say that, I need to see this.
So they
in
got,
this.
they've
Okay.
got, already got
And
if
plans
not,
on
at
me.
some
Everybody's so
point, just
excited
let me
that I'm
know
coming
and-
back down.
You even allow
And
them
it's
to
so
come to
nice.
property.
You know,
I go every day.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I talk
it's one of
to
those things that I
them
want
every,
to
at least
confirm
on
that,
Sundays. I
but it's
talk to
like,
at least 3 of them.
Really?
3 people
want
from
to
Brazil
see,
every Sunday.
and, you know,
That's
most of the time.
Or
most of the cameras
wherever
I
part of
pick,
the world
I go
they're in.
like this, where I can see my fingers on my peripheral. I may not be able to
How did
focus.
you
but the camera
start
is
going down
can see
captured, so
I
you can
had
go
a,
back and
I
look.
have a friend
Um,
that I've
and yeah,
known for
360
several years that
That's crazy.
lived in
you know,
Boston.
he said
that
about
lived in Brazil
5,000.
in the
I can say
wintertime.
right now, if I was
In
to
the
give
summertime,
you,
in the spring and fall, he was in
honestly,
Boston.
like what I'm
He has a
using,
set of sporting camps with his
I would
brother here in
say,
Maine.
being
And
generous.
stopping at the farm to look at my
If you
plants,
had
look at my
10
stuff. And
cameras,
more people just stopping.
Yeah.
And
that'd be about 17.
he said, when you
Oh, wow.
retire,
Okay,
you're
that's
coming to
significant.
Brazil.
So,
When you
yes,
retire,
he's
you're
talking about
coming
a
to
company that
Brazil.
would come in,
And
they would probably,
when I
you know, say,
retired,
oh, we'll
I was
run the
out
cable.
retired for
and
3
we'll do
days.
this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
I was on
that
a plane
stuff
to
where it's
Brazil.
like,
And I stayed, they have a beautiful place. He's a block from the
I don't know
beach.
how many cameras.
Typically,
when you hire
his
a company
back is
out,
from tropical
each
rainforest.
network line that they run,
His
you
front
usually
is the
charge
city.
$200
Wow,
per
for a
line.
lot.
And of
Monkeys on
course,
his
they mount the camera. So
monkeys and
you have somebody
toucans and
guaranteed that
all these really cool birds coming on his back deck.
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna tap some
5
screws and
flights up,
weather.
6 flights up.
We can save, but not
Everything
make
is
it look
locked.
crappy, if you know
Everything
what
is
I mean.
locked.
Very that guy.
The guard, you go through and
And you know, that's just it. So if it's like, hey, this is where I want the
it's
cameras.
crazy.
This is what I recommend.
It's crazy.
Somebody
And
can
of
get them
course,
out there.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
well, now how do you
crazy.
run this fancy
So
box?
Perfect.
We walk to the
Okay.
beach and
That's awesome. Thank
Copacabana
you.
is here, but we go to
Yeah, I like
Ipanema,
that
which is
place
the
way
next
better.
one down.
That makes sense.
So we
He said
usually
about
take
5 to
Uber
do-
there, then we
well,
walk
so
back.
again,
and
that's-
then
So
walk
he's,
the distance,
like,
That's
walk
again,
back.
if you told him I've got 10 cameras, I
The whole
actually
same group of
wired
people show up. They're
Franks.
from all, they're from
Oh,
all
really?
over the
Main
world,
military?
from all these
Oh,
top
Dexter?
executive
Yes,
people
at
that-
first he wanted to
This
do
small, like, freaking
remote
flowers
office
that people
space.
buy. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
So
just
I put the wireless in there and
and then there's
ports
movie
that-
stars,
Okay.
and actors.
And then
Hmm.
he went to the apartment route. So for like 2 years, I didn't really hear much from him. And he's like, I'm gonna need you to rewire. I was like,
Some of the, this last time I
he
was
goes,
there,
well,
I
he goes, I had to have
one
fire
of the
inspection
guys
go through
owns
and electricians go through for the
swimsuit
apartments. And whenever you hear electrician, they will cut out every
He's
wire and
Israeli.
leave you at your mercy. And it's like,
And,
really, like, this
he's
was
out of
actually to the point where
California.
Frank should have been able to
And he had some
apply
people
power,
do
plug in
photos
the
of these
internet
guys
service
in these swim
provider,
trunks.
and his
They're
wireless would have been
$100
perfectly fine.
stupid little
I redid all that
swim
last
trunks
summer.
that I couldn't wear at the Y. why, they would let me in
So
the
this is
pool.
his, he said, this is what he did.
And, he's always,
He said you had to do the
I've
DVR
got 3
recorder,
pair,
and
and he
then
just gave me
memory
another
size,
pair. I
and
mean,
then how many channels.
I wear them there, but
Eight
if you
cameras
don't
got
wear them,
complete.
you look out of
It was
place.
$1,000 for his
They
DVR.
come back
Then
and you're out of
like
script.
$250 or $350 each. And then the
Look at
cabling
you,
at the beach
they-
took a day and a half, and then they charged him $1,500 labor.
So anyways, so they were taking pictures, and I said to the guys, I said, when it was all done, I
They
said,
said
do
the
you
guy,
mind
this Tim,
if
does
I
like schools, police departments,
take
so he
pictures?
picks the proper lens
So
and the areas.
they
for
were
us
up.
that you can
I
do
got
that
some
too. So
phenomenal
he's like, he
pictures
doesn't
of these
nickel and
guys.
dime me to death. He
And
doesn't
he's
charge
using
me every
those
time I
instead of the
call him
ones
with
that
questions.
I-
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't think.
You know,
I mean,
and
there was like
rightfully
water,
so, where-
and I got one of the guys
I do
standing,
this
I'll
stuff
show him to you sometime.
and all
Like
this
he's
stuff.
on his knees like this,
Which,
Love it.
you know,
with the
makes
water
it weird, right?
reflects
Like,
in the water,
that's
with the
my
mountains in the
specialty. It's just
background.
like
It's
an hour,
absolutely
like, hey, we wanna
stunning.
start
With
recording
my little freaking
sermons.
camera.
Wow.
And, you know, somebody's
It's
sick in the
really
hospital, how can
and
they
he's
get it? I was
talking
like,
about coming here
I bought the
with
camera
some
from him, it was like
models
$500
to do,
and
but
there's a
the
program
truck's not
called
gonna
OBS
be
Studio,
somewhere
and it's
won't
actually
go.
free. So
Oh, yeah, I had that
we
for a
literally record it, and then while at church, after church is over, when I stop, I'll download it to my cell phone.
Doesn't cover
And
much.
I buy like.
Are they
a
the
terabyte of
little-
Google Drive?
Yep.
So I just did
Oh,
like a
yeah,
partition.
the
with
side,
like-
the sides are
As long
like,
as you have
like
the link, you
this
can
wide,
Yeah.
just
you can watch it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Whatever, so,
and,
you know, it's even in seeing,
No.
a
I
DVR
wear-
is easier because it's all
and they're not
centrally
comfortable
located,
there.
but
There's-
most of these cameras, you
the
can
two
actually
layers
put it
of-
into
of
SD card.
fabric.
Now, yes, you would have to log into each.
And one of them,
camera,
the inner is
But
kind
the
of spongy.
softwares that you use,
It's
you can
weird,
still
it
put
gets
all the cameras into one
aggressive
spot.
hair
And you can even say, I want to see motion.
for 'em. I don't,
Wow.
And oh, here's the motion. You can pull that data from that.
I got white and
that
blue, and
chip,
then I got
but
one with
It all depends on what you need, you know.
last year's
I don't think-
Rio,
so
whatever.
right
You
now
guys
there's-
probably
So
just do
for the
general
carnival-
awareness,
carnival's
with the
blue,
exception
yeah.
of, I definitely need
And
to
what's
swipe
the,
their guys. to
I
make sure
mean,
that they
carnival's
use it.
unbelievable.
And I think that's gonna be
That's
limited because there's no
crazy.
cameras there,
Crazy,
like
crazy,
now,
crazy.
like none.
Yeah,
Even
some
little
cameras
old
are too, where they
ladies
just
with
unplug.
walkers.
Yeah, I figured.
So when I left, I
In
took
the little-
I took
in the walkers, you get a little
box,
thing
like the hub
holding
light, and I'm
beer.
like, no. So I took
That's
that with me,
fantastic.
but then
Dressed
I
up,
put a
I
nest
mean,
in
they're
there
just,
and they finally unplugged it on like trip 4, they took it, they finally found it. I
I
gotta
can't speak enough about it. But, and this year, well, I was supposed to go, I was gonna go to Japan, but not Japan, China,
That's just
so
what I
that'll be
see.
next year.
Ubiquity is a little bit more on the expensive side. But
Yeah, I'm
I
going to
don't
Columbia
even
while
think-
I'm there this
Yeah,
year.
I don't even think that they,
I got friends in Columbia, so I'm gonna
they
fly to
actually
Columbia.
give more
So
access and everything now.
the American dollar was worth $5.
I'll know more tomorrow about like what he has
$1
to
down there
because
is
he was like, no, you
$5.
can have your own cameras, you
And
can
the
have your
things
own.
cost the same
So this
in their
network
money
video
as they
recorder,
cost here now.
well, you wouldn't even need that.
Like eggs down there
could
is
actually get you-
$4 a
What I
dozen
have
in their money.
is,
Okay.
it's a
Find out
router,
what it is,
firewall,
it doesn't.
it controls the
You eat-
wireless, it
And we
controls
went
the
up to
security
this
camera.
fabulous
It can only
restaurant that
physically hold one
they
hard
just kept
drive.
bringing
But
food
if I
out
went
on
and bought
and just
10
cutting it
terabyte
off the
hard drive,
plates.
yeah, it's
So
$400 for that one drive.
Oh, they
But
have like a lunch
I
course
have-
and stuff.
I think I have
every
a-
piece of meat you can imagine.
I have a 4
We had the best
terabyte
beef
at
there.
our house.
And the
And I
meal
have
would
video
cost you
from
between